I'm starting to think this could be the end of our marriage, but I'm afraid that our two small children will be the most to suffer if we decide to part ways. Ask if there's a chance that she and I can get back together, but she said she's no longer interested. I'm sorry, Fred.
Yeah.
How can I get her out of my mind? I am very worried about our future. I don't want our children to be burdened when we get older, because here we are alone. Right? Whatever happens to us, who's going to come here and help us? No one. Hello everyone, my name is Kay Hartman, and with me as always is my husband Steve.
Hi, glad you could make it.
Welcome to our YouTube channel, Clear Echoes. And today we have 3 very interesting emails that we received that we're going to try and advise them as best as we can. We're going to start with Nellie. Nellie wrote, "My husband of 12 years has picked up a new hobby, collecting, painting, and building plastic model kits. What started as a harmless hobby has become a wedge in our marriage. He is now a housemate more than a husband. The only time he would come out of our basement is when he has to work. He bought an inflatable mattress so he can sleep in the basement, and when it's dinner time, he would come to the kitchen, get a plate, and head back down to work on his collections. He became an absentee parent. He stopped helping me with chores. He makes all kinds of excuses not to attend our children's school activities. I'm starting to feel as if I am a single parent to our 2 children. I'm starting to think this could be the end of our marriage, but I'm afraid that our 2 small children will be the most to suffer if we decide to part ways. I tried to talk to him about his obsession, but he dismisses me and makes it as if it's all in my imagination, which frustrates me even more. What should I do?" Nellie, there are 2 things that comes to mind. Number 1 is your husband might have depression, but the challenge would be for him to admit that he does. You need to find a professional therapist. You need to find a good therapist for him to try and find out what is causing this escape from the family. The second thing that comes to mind is that he might be escaping from something. And if he does, I have a feeling that you have an idea what he's trying to escape from.
Yeah. A lot of guys won't admit that they have depression.
That's the challenge.
And that's the challenge because they perceive it as a weakness. And they'll be judged on that. And he doesn't want to admit to his wife that he's, not perfect. It sounds like he's doing more than just his hobby down there. And the fact that he's trying to avoid the rest of the family, that worries me even more, that it's not just a hobby or with her. I wonder how he is at work if they've noticed anything.
Right. You might need to try and stage an intervention. I don't know if your family is religious, but you can try and see if your pastor, your rabbi, or your priest can try and help. You can invite them over to your house. If he's trying to avoid talking to you, you can try and talk to his most trusted friends or his closest relatives. But the goal here is to try and get his attention, try and get him to talk. Because if he is depressed right now and he is isolating himself, this could be a very serious thing.
Right.
And you might need to seek help from other people right away.
Right. And
right away, especially if he's always alone in the basement.
I would even mention that to his whatever your family doctor is, or his doctor. In many states, the primary care physician can prescribe medications for depression or anxiety. So if he doesn't want to go to any other professional for treatment, at least you have that where he's probably more willing to deal with his doctor rather than thinking he's going to have to run a bunch of tests to determine what the problem is.
Right. But the important thing is for you to know exactly what is happening, because it seems like this is not just a hobby. It seems like there is an underlying thing that made him this obsessed to his hobby that we don't really know about. I hope you wouldn't think about separating right away, because he might actually need you more than you know.
Yeah.
More than you realize that he needs you. So I think you need to try and seek help from your family, from your closest friends. And if you find out that he does have some type of depression, he needs to have a therapist.
Yeah.
I hope you all the best, Nellie. I hope that you can try and find what is bothering your husband, if there's anything that's bothering him. I hope it's just really, he's just engrossed with what he's doing as far as modeling. I know somebody who is actually very addicted to modeling, so I can understand in a way, but with him trying to make excuses not to go to their children's activities at school.
Yeah.
Sleeping in that room.
Yeah.
Instead of in your bedroom.
Right.
Those are telltale signs of there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Besides the addiction to the plastic toys.
Maybe it's the glue fumes or something. I don't know.
So, best of luck, Nellie.
Yeah, best of luck.
I hope that you get past this, and I hope that you can get past this without having to resort into a divorce or a separation with your husband.
Yeah.
So I wish you all the best.
Okay.
Our next email comes from Fred. He writes, I'm a divorcee with no kids, and I've been working overseas since 2001. I recently retired and came back to the U.S. Yay, Fred, congratulations. You can afford to retire to the U.S. Yay! Okay. My girlfriend 10 years ago is still in my mind. She's been separated from her husband recently, and they have 3 children. I came by her house to visit and ask if there's a chance that she and I can get back together, but she said she's no longer interested. I'm sorry, Fred.
Yeah.
How can I get her out of my mind?
Yeah.
By dating again, Fred. By dating again. There are a lot of fishes in the sea.
Yeah.
And she's probably still trying to get over her ex-husband. She's probably still trying to adjust to her life without her partner. You may need to give her some time to adjust to her current situation, to her current lifestyle, to her new life. So if you are set into dating her again, you may need to wait a little bit longer until she's ready.
Yeah, and realize she's not the same person you dated 10 years ago. She's changed. She's had a lot of different life experiences, a new family experience, and so it might be for the better for both of you not to get together.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
It may need some time for her to adjust. And if you would like to date right away, there are a lot of dating apps that are available. But if you really are thinking of getting back with her again, you may need to wait a little bit longer patience is a virtue.
Yeah, and if you just want to get her out of your mind, you've got to do something that gives your mind something else to think about. Maybe you could,
Hobby?
yeah, hobbies, clubs, the gym, exercise, any sports would get you out of the house and give you something else to look forward to.
Yeah. Hiking. Go to places where you know you can meet other retirees.
Yeah,
Other retirees that golf.
yeah, there you go.
Golf is actually a pretty good activity for retirees, and you can meet other people there too. Maybe you can meet another person that may be of interest to you.
Yeah,
Right, Fred?
yeah. And, if you have friends that you haven't talked to in a long time, give them a call and,
Yeah.
rekindle old friendships. They
Yep.
may know some people.
Yes. And hypnotherapy works, Fred.
Yeah.
Hypnotherapy works to heal the broken heart. And best of luck to you, Fred. I hope
Yeah, good
that
luck,
you can
Fred.
I hope that you can either have the patience to try and wait for your girlfriend or have the luck to find a new girlfriend
Yeah.
that would love you and would appreciate you the way that you are,
Yeah.
because you deserve it. Our third email is a doozy. It came from Melanie, and Melanie is a Filipina, but she and her husband lives in California.
Okay.
And she writes, "My husband and I are both nurses here in California. We are blessed with 3 children. My problem is that my husband and I can't get ahead in life even though we are both earning pretty decent salaries. The reason is because we both have to support our families in the Philippines. Both of our parents are still well and alive. This is God's blessings. But our siblings refuse to chip in to support their retirement years. So it is left to my husband and I to send financial support every month. It feels like we are supporting 3 families. It doesn't feel like that, Melanie. You are supporting 3 families. It is such an enormous pressure to us. I am not young. My children are going to college soon. You know how expensive the living standard is here in California, and I'm afraid that we will end up relying solely on our 401k in our retirement years. I am very worried about our future. I don't want our children to be burdened when we get older. But if we rely on our 401k exclusively, it will not be enough for us. It will not be enough for us to afford to live in California, and going back to the Philippines after retirement is not an option. Do you have an idea how to escape what has been a vicious cycle of Filipino parents where the children becomes the retirement plan?" Ouch.
Yeah. And it's very common, right?
It's pretty common in Philippines, yes.
Yeah. I think you definitely have to have a family meeting and set boundaries, especially with your siblings.
I believe that this meeting will have to be between you and your siblings and your husband's siblings. Maybe, well, I guess you're not in the Philippines right now, but if you are thinking about visiting the Philippines sometime soon, this might be an in-person meeting
Yeah.
where you have to explain to them the living conditions here in the United States, because I know that most Filipinos, especially those who have not gone here, they have this notion that if we're in the US or if we live outside of the Philippines, that we are rich, and we are not. They perceive us being rich because when we go to the Philippines, we can afford things that are expensive in their standards. It doesn't mean that we are rich. It doesn't mean that we have a lot of excess money, but that is not something that a lot of Filipinos understand. And this is something that you have to explain in great detail with your siblings and your husband's siblings. And yes, setting boundaries with them is very crucial. I don't think that your support with your parents are going to stop. And when you say that this is the X amount that I can send to the Philippines, then you also have to stick with it. Because if you flip-flop with them with your decision, oh, I can only afford, say for example, just an example, I can only afford to send $500 a month. That's all you have to. That's all you can send, and that's what you can send. If your siblings are all in the Philippines, that means that you're the only one who's here in the US and you are on your own.
Right.
They're not here to help you. And what they don't understand or what they don't realize is that they actually have a lot more support there than we do here. Because here we are alone, right? Whatever happens to us, who's going to, if knock on wood, we all of a sudden have a medical emergency and we cannot work, right? And we cannot support our family all of a sudden, who's going to come here and help us? No one. This is something that you will have to tell your siblings or make them realize. If it's my turn to need somebody's help, who's coming to help me?
Yeah.
Right? If you guys are not going to help with the care of our parents, who's coming to rescue me if I'm the one who needed rescuing?
Exactly.
I feel you, like I said, and I hope that you will be able to talk to your siblings and get this straightened out.
Yeah.
If you like our episode tonight, I urge you to please click subscribe. It would help our channel a lot. And
if you'd like to be featured in any of our upcoming episodes, please feel free to message us through our social media links, which you can find below. We promise to keep your identity protected, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye for now. On the next episode of Clear Echoes, I grew up in a conservative family and never had a boyfriend when I was in school. None that my parents know of.
Especially because they've never met the guy. They didn't even know she was dating.
My job is highly stressful, handling customer complaints day in and day out. I have a brother who is married, but he keeps calling me to complain about his kids, his wife, even his dog.
If they can understand that you are still in a state of grief, you're still trying to process what happened,